Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ghosts and goblins. Good morning. Okay, thank you, everyone, for joining us on this beautiful day for our fall 2016 Symposium. Thank you for getting up early this Saturday morning. What a beautiful day. Yes, you can enjoy it after 11:30. All right, so before we get started, Halloween happens to be on Monday. Okay, so I have a trivia question for you guys. And whichever table participates the most, because today it's all about participating and networking, the table that participates the most and gives us the best answer gets a couple of $100,000, right? It's a lot of hula. So, the question is, where do ghosts go on vacation? Anybody? Where do ghosts go on vacation? Anybody? Try. Yes! Yes!
100 grand! 100 grand! Bollywood!
Okay, let's take a listen. Mr. Helper, can you give them 100 grand, please?
100 grand!
Yay! Well, all right, excellent. Okay, there'll be more prizes and fun gifts coming, so participate. That's what this is all about, okay?
Anybody else? Any other questions?
No.
No?
Okay, and a few housekeeping things before we get started. The restrooms are to my right over here. There's coffee and still food left, so feel free to get up and get more coffee if you need to. You will have additional networking opportunity during break. We'll take a break. And you will also have a lot of opportunity to talk with our panelists here during break and during the panel. And we encourage you to ask as many questions as you can and stump them today, okay? Let's go for it. Let's stump our panelists today. All right, so let's get started. It's my pleasure to introduce to you today a supply chain expert with a unique perspective on what works when looking across the entire business process, inclusive of operations, finance, and systems. She's a sought-after writer. She's a great speaker. She has authored a lot of books. Don't ask me how many. A lot of books. Writes a lot of articles. And recently got recognized as one of the top 100 bloggers in the supply chain by Supply Chain Ops. With this, please help me welcome our facilitator for today's symposium and the president of our Inland Empire chapter, Ms. Lisa Anderson.
All right, well, welcome. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm glad everybody's here today. It's a beautiful day, so we always get comments about how it's amazing that everybody actually pays attention instead of looking out the window all day. So hopefully we keep that trend going. So all right, so I thought we'd start off briefly to talk about what is APIX, who are we, and we're actually going to feature our students today as well. So all right, so let's go ahead and get going. Excellent. All right, very good. So what is APIX? We're the #1 supply chain management organization globally. And several years ago, the APIX leadership team took a look at who are all the supply chain management organizations out there and what topics do they all cover. And so what they ended up doing was actually absorbing a couple other organizations into APIX. We actually bought the #2 organization and really cover the end-to-end supply chain. There are still some strategic partnerships with other organizations as well. So what APIX covers, if you look on the screen here, is traditionally speaking, we've always been heavy in the plan arena. So we plan, and then Source is one of the strategic partnerships, and that's ISM, the Institute of Supply Management. And they are really the experts when it comes to sourcing. So we have Plan, Source, and then Make. We talk to Source, but we're not, when you really get down to the supplier relationships, it's ISM. And then Make APICS has traditionally been really key in the make arena as well. And then deliver and return. Deliver and return are something that APICS has always covered, but we wouldn't be experts in them. So one of the organizations that we also absorbed was one that was the leader in the logistics arena. And so that's where our new certification that we're going to Phil's going to talk about a little bit later, CLTD for Certification of Logistics and Transportation fits in. So now APICS really does cover the end-to-end supply chain between the plan, source, make, deliver, and return. So the other thing is that APICS traditionally has been focused in on planners, buyers, mid-level managers, and that side of things. And now we've really, the number 2 organization for supply chain is the one that was absorbed as well, and that was called SCORE. Well, I should say the SCORE is the certification. And that really is focused on benchmarking and strategy, and that's the other organization. So now we focus in on from top to bottom and from left to right, from our suppliers to our customers. So in essence, the big broad view of supply chain. And that's, of course, appropriate to our topic of today, which is navigating the global supply chain. So we'll be hearing a lot more about that. So that gives us a good idea of what APICS is about. You can go ahead. So who is APICS Inland Empire? Well, these days, if you are a trade organization like APICS, and you do the traditional thing of, the conference once a year and maybe a program now and then, pretty much the truth of the matter is life has changed. That's dying out. So we're really trying to be innovative. One of our former topics in our symposium was innovation. And so from an innovation standpoint, we're really here to provide value to our members, to manufacturers and distributors in the Inland Empire and surrounding areas, and how do we do that? And that's really our focus, whatever that means. And so that's how we've evolved to doing these symposiums, because it's a great way to get together and network. We've had people attend and meet people that they later ended up working for. We've had people make some great connections that help them with their business and their career. So that's one of the reasons why we're doing these symposiums. It also is a great way to get our students with the professionals and executives. And so symposiums, we also do some webinars. On your tables, we've put together a list of what's happening between now and our next symposium, which is May 6th. And we have lots of events coming up. You'll see some webinars on there, you'll see some tours on there, and you'll see a program that we are also going to do. In the Inland Empire, we are rather spread out. So in addition to having all the traffic of normal Southern California, we are somewhat spread out. So we do fewer programs in person. The ones we do are key and special. So you'll see one coming up at Harvey Mudd that I hope that you'll all attend. And then we do our symposium. So that's who we are. The bottom line is we're looking to provide value. Of course, we cannot do this in a vacuum. So if you have ideas of what you're looking for, what topics are most important to you, what's going to matter for your career and your business, let us know. That's why we're here, is for you to, we're going to bring up the board next so that you know who to talk to. But let us know what your interests are, because that's what we're here for. If we don't do that, we may as well just, pack it up. There's certainly no reason, I can tell you for sure, I am not a morning person. So there's absolutely no reason for me to be here on a Saturday morning if it's not to provide value. So I might be here at midnight, much more likely than I would be here at 8 in the morning. Or even 6, like I had to get here today. So, all right, so the other thing about APICS-IE is the only way we can provide value in our assessment is to really partner. We're really in this together with a lot of other organizations, like I mentioned the other supply chain organizations. So I'm going to go through a couple of them now. And there's several folks in the room from these groups, so we'll recognize you as we go around here. So we have a lot of schools here today and that we partner with, and we're going to go through this in more detail with our student section. So suffice it to say, I've put a bunch of logos up here. We have some, significant schools here, and we're going to recognize the students that are here today in just a few minutes. We also collaborate with other organizations that supplement what we do. We have the National Speakers Association, which I have to say, what I've learned in my career is that no matter how successful you are and how wonderful you are at all the technical aspects of the supply chain, you still will be achieving nothing if you're not able to communicate. So the National Speaker Association is helpful. And then we also have the Manufacturing Council of the Inland Empire, which they put on the Manufacturers Summit, which is the premier event for manufacturing in the Inland Empire, and that's going to be in February of this year. We also are associated with a couple of the key chambers of commerce in the area. And Provisors is a group of trusted advisors, so CPAs, attorneys, etc., that focus in on manufacturing and distribution. So collaborating with other organizations in the area. And then also, we have other supply chain management organizations. As I said earlier, we've absorbed some of them, but we still have many folks from other APICS chapters that are here today. I know we have Orange County, I know we have San Fernando Valley, we have others. So we're thrilled to have our APICS partners with us here today. We also have ISM. I mentioned ISM earlier, that's our purchasing and sourcing gurus. We have the DMA, which is the Distribution Management Association. That's really prevalent in the Inland Empire. And so we absolutely collaborate with them. They are really the experts when it comes to distribution. And the Southern California Roundtable they're really focusing on transportation. And then there's also the Riverside County Exporters and Manufacturers, or something like that. So basically the exporters in the area, which some of our panelists today are really heavy into that. So our idea is to collaborate with these other organizations and join together so that we can walk away with more value. All right, let's keep going. All right, so who are we? Like, how do you know who to give feedback to? So why don't the board members come up so we can introduce you, and we'll also take pictures, of course. So Susan won't let us get away with it if we don't. So all right, so I'm the president of the Inland Empire chapter, and Farzad did a wonderful job of introducing me. We have Valerie Ladd. She is our VP of Finance and keeps track of our money, thank goodness. And she'll always accept more. If you're willing to give it to us. She's been a longstanding member and has won Board Member of the Year in the past, so thank you to Valerie. We have Phil. Phil Elhite is our VP of Education, and once we take the pictures, he's going to spend a minute talking to you about our certifications coming up so that you can look to attend them. And he also has won, I think you went too fast. Okay, Farzad. Well, we can't miss Farzad. Right. So Farzad is our VP of Member Services, and she sends out all of our announcements and is interested in your membership experience. So please make sure you tell her about that. We also have Kate. What is Kate?
She just got down.
Oh, no. So Kate is our VP of Programs, and she helped put this on, and also the list of programs you see in your folder today. So Kate is here, but where, I don't know. And then Tony Martinez. Tony is VP of Special Projects, and he absolutely does take that name to heart. He does all sorts of things as they come up and whatever we need. So thank you, Tony, for doing that, because we wouldn't be able to do it without you. And then Kevin Manning is our Director of Education or Marketing. He's in transition between the two. He's sort of doing them both. So Kevin is absolutely, he's also a great instructor. And he would be here today if he wasn't actually his wife wasn't having a baby today. So we thought that was a good excuse. And then we have Helen Arebulo. Helen is our, what do we call her?
Do it all.
Our audit chair. She gets us out of tax trouble. For some reason they decided to send us notes about owing taxes that we didn't owe. So thank goodness she solved all that for us. So thank you to Helen for her help with that, and also does our, backing up our financial audits. And then Pam Shriver is a new addition to our team, and Pam is our admin chair. So you may have heard from some of her, because she placed some calls to everybody to alert them about our symposium and upcoming events. So thank you to Pam. All right, so we haven't seen Kate come back yet. You what?
Picture time.
Picture time, okay. All right, so we'll take a picture.
Okay, that's good. Okay, let's scoot you guys all over and you guys turn.
We know the pose. We're trained, we know.
Let me get you over just because the putty's a lot taller there. There we go. A little closer. Good, good, good. Anybody with glasses, just tilt your head down slightly. Good, good, good. Again. Beautiful. And excellent. Do you see Kate yet? No? Okay, okay. We tried. I kind of saw it.
That's all right. Thank you. All right, well, thank you. If we can give a round of applause to the board.